Hello Starlights, it is me, Midnight Persona, and I am back with another video, and this time I will be making a cosplay of myself. As you can see, hubby's in the background working on his porcelain-made cosplay because we both decided to do really big projects for Offkai Expo. And here's the thing, I don't think making my cosplay was difficult, nor do I think that it was necessarily hard. I think that a lot of pieces were very tedious. The first time I ended up making a spacesuit, it was for the alien from Toy Story. So I already kind of have a little bit of experience in making a spacesuit, but this one has the legs completely, so I'm just kind of doing a little tedious work. Now, when me and the hubby finally had the time to sit down and work on our cosplays, we literally had about a week, maybe a week and a half until convention, and so I had like 3 days to finish my cosplay. And like I said, it's not too difficult. I already knew what I was doing essentially, sewing sides to each other and hemming things. It was just that it was a lot of panel pieces, thus it needed a lot to do within the time I had. And this year, the stress and the Audi ADHD has been kicking my tail. It has been hard for me to figure out timing of things, when to start things, and I absolutely hate con crunch. And so this will be a lesson to me, and I will definitely try to start sooner next time if my body allows. Alright, so here is my first try on. It is me putting the bodysuit pieces together. I'm keeping the entire front open because in my design for my character, the front piece is open just so the boobs can kind of peek through. Hubby and I were essentially working right before dinner, trying to get little pieces done and everything like that. And it fits nicely. I do need to cut down this pattern because the pattern is fit for 22 to 24, and I am an 18 to 20. I just always get scared of cutting down larger patterns because I'm worried if I gain weight or lose weight, like I'm not gonna have that extra fabric that I need. But I really like the way it was turning out at this point. So, because I was working with stretch fabric, I decided that I would just do the whole turkey hand trick. I didn't need anything super special. I didn't need to have the thumb or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that my gloves would fit because I'd also be dip dyeing them. I'm also a person who likes to work in sections before I start sewing, so I'll pin down all of my pieces, whether it be for the gloves, for the bodysuit, for other parts, and then I'll take it all over to the sewing machine and sew it all down. This was my first test on dyeing it. I took the RIT dye, they had a fluorescent green, and I added a little bit of a dark green to it just to make sure that maybe it wouldn't be too bright yellow. And I have to dip dye the legs, the sleeves, and the gloves, and I believe I did start with a scrap fabric, and as I was dyeing the scrap fabric, I thought it was ridiculous how close to the color that was to my suit. It was turning out to be the perfect color for the dye, and so I like to work in the sections again. I will like dip dye and then wash it a little bit to see if it will wash out the color, then I'll dip dye again, and then I ended up leaving it in the fabric soup for a little while. I really, really love the way this color was turning out. I was so proud that it was almost perfect. I mean, nearly perfect to the exact color and the ombre that I wanted with my suit. So I dip dyed the legs and the sleeves and then left them off to the side to kind of drip into the little bowl. That's my dye bowl. And then I do the same for the legs and the arms. And then I believe I just completely leave the gloves in there because they're just supposed to be completely green. But I really love the way this color turned out. It made me so happy. After dyeing the legs and the sleeves, I now had to pin them to the bodysuit to make sure that they fit properly. It took me a few times because I struggle with sleeves so much because the way that they fit bother me. But I was pinning and setting it together and it worked out fine. But I just say I hate putting in sleeves and legs. They're the worst part of the costumes for me. Just a little more footage of me sewing pieces together, but mostly I was doing a zigzag stitch over the gloves to make sure that they wouldn't come undone. I like to do that because I don't have a serger, and so instead I'll just zigzag stitch all the way down my pieces so that way they don't come apart so easily. But It's a little harder on the gloves because there was such little spots and I was struggling a bit, and listening to my usual TikTok videos. Here's the most annoying part of the entire suit. I had to push through all these little foam pieces. This is me just pinning the gold pieces to the suit. I'm gonna sew it down, and then I have to push through these little foam rods to make sure that the sleeves kind of puff out, and it was a pain in the butt to do that part, and I gotta find a new way to do it because that was stupid. So after doing all the fabric, I took a break. I decided to spray paint 2 different things at once. I needed to work on my shoes, and I'm kind of making a little display case for specifically a cinnamon roll, like a figure case, but that's not the point right now. I learned a lot from this one. With these types of shoes, I should have been using a fabric spray. And with the spray that I was using, it flaked off. It really did flake off in the middle of con. I think the color was perfect. It was beautiful. But I needed to use like a yellow fabric spray first, or some kind of fabric like primer, and then put the other color over it. I have learned that for next time, and also, and please, for all that is holy, use some kind of mask to make sure it's secured properly, because with everything trying to kill us, the air and everything is bad. Just please be safe. Use goggles. I wear glasses, so I wasn't too worried about that, but just be safe, please. Here's the try-on. The try-on of everything so far. Everything's looking good. I was really liking the way it was turning out. I'm gonna put the foam into the bottom portion, which was fun. I will say that this entire costume was absolutely a learning process. I enjoyed making it and putting it together, but I gotta find something to replace these little tubes, or an easier way to work on this stuff, because it was hurting my hands, and it's really difficult for me to do stuff like this. I ended up passing it off to the hubby because he was able to do it a lot easier, because my hands were starting to hurt incredibly. So it's not very, I don't know, pain safe for the hands. I gotta look into do some more research to see if I can do something better here. So after dealing with annoying little foam pieces, I took a break to go outside to spray paint my shoes again, and to spray paint all the little hoop pieces, like my bracelets and the little hoops that go around my feet. And it turned out okay. There's so many things I would have done different. The second time around, I'm gonna learn from it and do better. Here are my little rings. After finishing them outside, I brought them inside because it was getting way too hot. Want to be recorded? Hey. I would also like to add that in the process of working on this, I was also helping hubby with his project. And so this is me essentially painting my nails. And making sure that they had a little bit of a shine to it, because I wanted the nails on my gloves to look like actual nails. And so I sprayed them, and then I went over them with a cat eye. And then I honestly just glued them. I glued them on with the E6000 or whatever it is, as I do have a glove underneath so that it's not sticking directly to my nails or my skin. I had a glove on so that it would glue, and then I could just take it right off. I'm actually really proud about how this turned out. It looks really good to me. Now, this isn't my first time making ears and a tail, but I did do a little more research in trying to do these. But because it was so, like, time constraint, I had to kind of do the easiest way possible. So I took some foam, put some wire on it, glued it to that, then I glued the fur to it, and I tried to close it off with more glue, and then I made sure that the fur was just kind of put together. I did shave it a little bit, not too much because I like the fluffy look, but I wanted it to be shaved down a little bit because I think like Midnight would be like a medium kind of hair cat, not really like a short, not really long hair. But yeah. So I took a break to eat. I encourage people to do this more often because I will get so in the zone I'll forget to eat. But I have to remind myself and the hubby that we need to take a break to eat or else we are going to get incredibly sick. So take care of yourself while you're con crunching. So midnight is just a little bit more voluptuous than me. So I do have hip pads on and I have a particular bra I like to wear with it because it's a push-up. So I wanted to make sure it helped with everything. I missed recording some accessories, but this was the final try-on, and honestly, I was really proud of it. I think that it turned out the best it could with the time period that I had, and I'm honestly really excited. I just had some finishing touches to put on some Velcro at the top, sew my star to the top, just little bits and pieces, but I honestly feel like it turned out super well. There will be a part 2 where I'm fully in the costume and you can see exactly how it fits and wears on me. But if you like this video. If you like me, subscribe. There's a bell notification if you'd like to see more videos from me. And I'm just so proud of this costume. So remember, you are loved, you are amazing, you are fantastic in every way, shape, and form. And this is a sign to follow your dream costume, make your OC. And I'll see you in part 2. Bye!